Hey guys, Shadylikeatree here, and welcome into Reminiscing with Shady, episode 66. This is something really interesting. This is a Jampack. I believe this is the Winter 1998 Jampack, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to look into that. It is the Fall of 2001. I lied. Fall of 2001 Jampack, and Jampacks are an interesting set of software, and before I get into that, you're gonna see some Marvel Academy 2, and then I think a little bit of Spider-Man. But basically, a Jampack was something that came with I forget the name of the magazine back in the day. It might have been Game Informer, but basically it was magazines would send out PlayStation 1 demos called Jampacks, and you could also purchase them. I think they were like $4. And what it would be a disc, and it would contain demos of a handful of games, and then it would contain a couple gameplay videos. And if you could get some good ones, you could get some really fun gameplay in there, and this happens to actually be one of the ones that I did play. But the idea was that they would try to sell you you know, more games by letting you play the demo and be like, oh mommy, I want to play this game, or what have you. And also, I'm going to use this opportunity to kind of give you a future plug. X-Men Mutant Academy #2 is one of the games that will be Reminiscing with Shady. I have yet to find a copy, as with many of the games that I'm running into, as I'm struggling to find copies I can afford that aren't expensive or whatnot. But this will be a future Reminiscing with Shady, just kind of highlighting what these Jampacks kind of do. And basically, I showed you the opening in cutscene on purpose. Is basically you kind of just chose between your games and kind of what was going down with that, and you just kind of you know, played, and you would get a short sample. Like you get to play. This is basically full gameplay what you're watching right now on here with this you know, with Cyclops and whatnot, but you only get 4 characters, so I think you can choose Cyclops, Magneto, another bad guy, and somebody else, and I forget who that other person is. But you get like a limited portion of the game. Like for here, Spider-Man, you get the very, very, very beginning of the Spider-Man game. And actually the first Spider-Man, which was, I believe, Reminiscing with Shady like 27, I actually discovered that game through a Jampack when I was a kid. I think that one particular came out, I think 99 or something like that, and I played the Jampack that came out right before it, and that's why I decided to get that game, because it was a lot of fun. I was like, oh hey, I'd like to play the rest of this. I think I mentioned that actually in that video, so you guys can go check that out if you're interested. But yeah, it's just a short little thing that you know, you get to play. You know, Spider-Man is actually pretty long because it's a single player game. But they would have a featured game, which I think you'd get quite a bit of, not all of, but a good fair amount of. And then they'd have just like little small samples of another game. Some of the other games that are on this is there's a Barbie game, and then NFL Game Day, I think 2002 is on here as well. And then there's like 2 or 3 videos of stuff you can watch and look at and play. But I would get these all the time, and they would come in the mail, and I'd be like, ooh, it's a free game, but it's really not. And you could plug it into your PlayStation, and you could play it. And they used to come in magazines. You could go to, at that time, it was EB Games. Now we're going to the Wayback Machine. We need a time machine to get to a time machine to take us. Not really. It's not that far back. It was like 15 years ago, 20 years ago, maybe. Maybe not that long. But EB Games was what GameStop used to be. Before GameStop bought out EB Games. I think there's still EB Games in Canada, but I'm unsure about that. And they used to be able to get them on the counter, and I think they were like $4.99 or something like that. You could buy it, and then you could also get the magazine. I think the magazine was like $6, but it came with the discs, so you basically paid $1 for the magazine. And that was how, you know, you found out about games back in the day, because you didn't have internet, you didn't have reviews. So a lot of the games that I played and I learned about and I knew about were through playing demos and getting these demo discs, because now, you know, everything's downloadable, and you can play demos on the PlayStation Network and you know, Xbox Live, and you can download them and you can play them and this, that, and the other. But you know, you couldn't back in the day do that, because, you know, the internet wasn't widespread and wasn't very fast, and you know, today, back then, if you would have downloaded the Spider-Man game, it would have probably taken you like 12 years to do it because of how bad the internet was back then. God, I remember dial-up, and I hated dial-up. So, well, that's all I really got to say about this, and this gameplay is nearing its end. So I hope you guys certainly have a great day, great time, and I hope you found this episode of Reminiscing with Shady to be enjoyable for you. I will see you next time, and have a good one, friends. Bye.